Kyle's Geckos, they threw $10. They say, hey, Barczyk fam, hope you are doing well tonight. Long-time follower, first-time super chat. Hope to visit soon. Coming from Adrian, Michigan.
Oh, Adrian. You're not even that far, man. That's awesome. Cool. Adrian. I wonder what kind of, when you come, tell me what kind of geckos you guys keep.
They keep the fucking basic shit, crested, Chihuahua, that bullshit.
Leopard. Chihuahua's not basic at all.
Well, it's pretty basic if you're on Guatemala.
New Caledonia.
Close enough. Close enough.
Close enough. Guatemala,
You know what we got to do one day? One day we got to buy just a little shitty wood boat with a little motor engine, right? And sneak onto the Forbidden Islands, right?
Yeah.
We got to, because, listen.
Where?
The Forbidden Islands.
Where are they?
Mom, they're forbidden. They can't say.
If we say, then everyone's going to know where they're
So how are you going to get there with a boat?
Well, we know we've got a map.
Remember the paper map that Cusco gave him?
We got a map.
There's another map on the
back.
So you're going to export.
Actually, it's not on the back.
A shitty boat.
It's actually it's in invisible ink.
Invisible ink.
So what you do is you take some
so you're doing
lemon.
That, huh? You're going to go to Indo with him and find the invisible.
You take some lemon on the invisible and you just with a Q-tip you just put it on the hair dryer.
National Treasure.
Hair dryer.
I know how this shit works.
No, I'm serious.
And you're finding some amazing geckos there? Is that what you're doing?
It's New Caledonia forbidden.
I mean, there's got to be thousands of undiscovered animals there, huh?
Oh my gosh,
I mean,
everyone is undiscovered.
I think there's a lot of stuff that's still undiscovered to us.
Did you see there was this football fish, 18-foot football fish that
washed
up on.
Football fish?
Those things are so cool, so
the
weird.
ones with the light bulb.
That don't even look real.
Angler.
Anglers,
anglers,
or they're
like
also
that.
football fish.
Football fish.
I know.
I've never heard them called football fish.
Come on,
Animal Crossing.
How big was it? Because anglers are typically small.
Listen, Mom,
that's what I thought.
This is so funny because Dad, he's always like, Fimbriatus, symbiotus, football fish. What the fuck is that? That's not a word.
Fimbriatus, embryatus.
Yeah, is there a giant angler fish? I've never heard.
There is. Are you kidding me? Yes,
How big is?
Oh
my gosh, they get huge.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's a
I didn't
real
make this
thing.
shit up.
Like you look
and that's
at
actually the picture.
Oh, it was? Hold on.
Yeah, it was actually the picture, bottom right, the very bottom
This
right.
one?
Yeah. That was the one.
That's so crazy.
This is the
oh my
stuff.
God.
Wow.
Like you don't believe
That
that.
one's fake.
Just like a narwhal.
It's gotta be, right?
That
No,
doesn't
that's
exist,
fake.
but then it exists.
This is like I guess a replica, right?
Rendition.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Wow.
that's
Look at that.
terrifying.
They do get huge.
I did not know that. I thought they were very small.
I mean, how cool is nature that that's really a real thing?
Well, you know what's really crazy? I saw a documentary.
I mean, I kind of want a tank with them.
I don't know if we could. I don't think you could.
You'd have to have a deep sea tank, right?
Because they're deep sea. Well, I saw this documentary about the Mariana Trench, right? The deepest place or deepest in the ocean. And it takes like 4 hours for a drone to submerge. 4 hours.
Yeah.
For it to drone.
Wow.
And the thing that's interesting is it's teeming with life.
Yeah.
And they thought that there was no chance because of the pressure and because of the temperature,
you know what,
light.
That's human ignorance.
Yes. Yeah.
There's no chance
if we can't live there.
Here. Yeah. Right, exactly. That's nature.
But there's
Things
some
were
crazy
made
cool
to live
stuff.
there.
There's all kinds of wild stuff down there.
Probably the pathway to Atlantis. Just saying.
No,
I
that's
agree.
in Atlanta. That's in
Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh yeah,
no, that's
Georgia.
not what I said.
It's in Antarctica.
The whole
Antarctica
Earth.
is the hole. At the end, in the middle of Antarctica, there's a hole that goes into the middle of the Earth.
And that's where all presents are made for the children.
No, that's the North Pole.
No, it connects.
No, the North Pole
goes
melted.
all the way
goes through
south.
They go all the way through in the middle.
That's how they get that.
Oh, that's how they get so quick?
Yes, south people get these.
It's all coming
So
together.
if they actually had an elf train that moved at a certain pace, like on December 26th, it started to move from the Antarctic.
Of course.
And by time December 24th came, it got to the North Pole. They could build on the train.
That's that's a slow ass train.
They build from the center of the earth
miles.
and they just shoot out those holes both ways, same time, and get distributed everywhere.
You don't think
Makes more sense.
Santa Claus has a fast train? Then?
Oh, he's been doing this shit for a long time.
The Polar Express.
He's got a fast train.
He's got to have this down.
You think?
I mean, a month.
I'm not that up on Santa.
You need to watch some more Christmas.
Yeah, watch some more Christmas movies.
Mama Tomsky.
Go ahead, Mama.
Mama Tomsky says, "Hey, Lori, glad you're back and feeling better." Jay also had a migraine too. What did you guys do together? LOL, migraine.
I was going to say that he had one the same
and
day.
I never have them ever.
Yeah, so,
I really don't either.
Barometric pressure.
Yeah,
it was just solar flares, man.
Yeah, something
Came out of
weird
nowhere.
there.
And
I'm telling you,
I've had them here or there, but never one like that.
Yeah, me neither. I couldn't even get out of bed.
Jay and I talked about weird things. Jay and I talked about this. You know how you guys know I love UFO stuff, right?
Of course.
What do they call them now? UAPs.
UAPs.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
unidentified
Aerial
phenomena. So anyways,
Why you gotta change
I love
shit?
this stuff. But
know,
listen to
so
this.
dumb.
Did you know that Obama, me and Jay talked about it.
Is
we
it
both said-
UFO?
No. He was on a show. How long? It was less than a week ago, right?
About a week, yeah.
About a week ago. He was on a show and he literally said, well, the first day I went into office, I wanted to know where the aliens were and where we keep them and stuff like that. He said,
Where we keep them?
yeah. But he did say, he goes, but in all honesty, and I'm not joking, there's a lot of things that are flying around that are being caught on film by our Air Force and Navy that we have no idea what they are. Obama said that.
Obama.
That's crazy to think that the ex-president, would literally admit to. I mean,
Well, we literally just said that, though. How many things exist in nature that we're not aware of? So how much more so?
Yeah,
Space,
extraterrestrial.
time,
wise.
yeah,
whatever.
like extraterrestrials live in nature.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just
in some
saying,
nature somewhere.
I think that's the ignorance of humans thinking like, oh, everything that exists, we know what it is.
Revolves around us.
I
too.
mean-
We've always been that way too.
Yeah.
Even
We've
like,
only been here for a
always been
finite
that
amount
way.
of time,
still-
and even in that, how do you?
We still are that way. We have things that we say every single day. Oh, we have nothing more to learn. We know it all.
And then 10 years later, it all switches. The whole thing, the whole program's different.
God, yeah. That's
You look
Yeah.
so
Kind of
crazy.
like Fosse stance on Corona. changes by the day. Changes by the day.
Just got Farchi.
and that's what I mean. It's just,
Barczyk.
Yeah, Farchi.
it's just so ridiculous that anyone, dude. I don't care who you are. Besides maybe like,
Nope.
Gandhi.
Gandhi.
Like, who's the fucking guy? The Dalai Lama, right?
Dalai Lama,
I don't even know much about him, but I'll let him get a fucking pass. You know what I mean?
This is the thing with those
Everyone
people,
else, though,
they're
doesn't know
humble enough
shit.
to probably
Yeah.
still admit, I
Oh, well,
don't
the
know
Dalai Lama
anything,
would
and you can
definitely-
always be
well,
learning.
The Dalai Lama always says that. The fact that
What?
the only stupid or the stupidest person on the planet thinks he knows everything.
Yeah.
That's what the Dalai Lama says. You know,
You know how many people
so
are like
that's
that way?
Part of it,
I meet him every day.
Yeah, we
I
all
meet him
do.
every day, and I'm just
Blown away.
like, wow, this guy is smart. this guy's real smart. Like, there's not one thing you can bring up to him that he doesn't know everything about.
Everything about
everything about. Wow, it's
Wow.
smart. It's smart.
How'd you get this? Did you actually, speaking of the smart people, did you see there's like this less than 2-year-old girl, and she has like 150 IQ.
What?
And
Wow.
she's already going to college.
That's
Okay,
Maybe not college,
Maybe not
yeah,
college.
yeah.
But I
No.
think
She's got a
she's
hell of a keg
But
stand, though.
honestly,
I think she's in high
yes,
school,
There's
though.
like savants that
No.
are like.
I remember there was
smart.
I remember there was that
I think
one
that's a
like
bummer.
Asian kid from a few years
That
back.
one
She was like
Asian.
no, she was like 4 years old and she already had a high school diploma.
Can't do that anymore.
No, I'm
You
just
can't-
joking.
Why? She was Asian. I mean, what do you want me to say?
I'm just joking.
I mean,
it was just
that one,
yeah.
the one person I don't know their culture. She was a girl, and she, you know,
yeah, that's what people want you to say these days.
Oh, okay,
They
I
want you
see.
to describe
Oh.
everything. She was wearing plaid.
Yeah,
She was
anything
just-
but the thing that
Anything
makes you
but-
know what it is immediately.
Exactly.
yeah, I understand.
I think that stuff
gotcha.
is cool and it's amazing, but honestly,
Oh, yeah.
to me it's sad because I feel like when children grow up too fast, it's sad because probably, in my opinion, the
she's
best
fucked.
part
Of
of
making
life
up is Folgers
the
in your
be-
cup.
The best part of life is honestly those years when you're a kid, when everything is free and fun and
Oh,
like
No
yeah.
responsibilities.
yeah, and you're just everything is about having a good time and learning
my
and this and
God,
that, but
yeah.
it's all like freedom. And the kids who with no matter if it's knowledge
Macaulay
or
Culkin.
sports or you know what I mean? Yeah,
Fame.
anything like that makes them grow up so fast and not get to experience that. To me that's sad because you don't ever get it. Like you only get this finite window
Yeah.
and when they don't get that, I think it's sad.
I wondered
agree.
that about. This is a little off topic, but I wondered that about the Irwin kids. You know what I mean? Because they basically, from the fact that when they were 2 and 3, they were kind of pushed into the limelight as like, you're going to take your dad's. And that was one of the reasons why I think Bindi was so interesting because at some point she pulled back.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, I'm not doing this.
What do you
And-
mean?
And,
This
and
is-
that was
that's
great
our
that Terry allowed her to
That's just
pull
like
back
this.
too.
It's literally parallel to our family.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Bindi's our Jade.
Right? Yeah, she just
She was
went
like,
away from the
"Hell no."
family. She went away from the family.
Literally.
No, but not
Right?
at all though, because that's the thing. Like you guys definitely had a childhood. I definitely,
Yeah.
made sure you guys did because I'm all
I'm not
about
denying
that
that.
too.
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
There was definitely a point in my life where I had no clue what was going on for many years. Many years, just little toys.
Just living, yeah.
Toys,
you're living with your guys. You're living
movies.
with your.
You have no clue what's going on. Yeah. You're just watching things, and you're just like.
See, I wish I would have had that childhood. I didn't, unfortunately. I had, kind of a tormenting childhood. And I think back on that a lot. Well, lately, especially with all the therapy I've been through, it would have been so nice because there were flashes of little Brian that was like carefree and out in the woods collecting snakes and stuff like that. But so much of my life was so like miserable when I was really young and I felt so unsafe. There was no like, hey, I'm just playing with my toys and I don't care about anything in the world. It was always like
waiting
something.
For the next dumb
there was always
going
to be something bad was about to happen. And that is I would love to have known how that those years felt.
You'd be a completely different person.
Well, that's why I wouldn't have the mental problems I have now. Yeah, but I mean, the weird thing is that but I might not be as successful either, right? Because those demons chased me into success.
And a fair point.
Yeah. But
never know.
So now the question is how to get away from the demons, but continue to be
but
motivated.
not have to run.
Yeah, and not
but
be
it's
motivated.
funny because it's a conversation that literally we were just having today. Is honestly, you can have both. You can chase your dreams. You can have success without it all encompassing your life.
Right.
Like there's balance and there's importance.
Sure.
No, you are trying, but I'm saying like for Noah, with what he's trying to achieve, or for younger people and stuff like that, you can do it. You can be driven. You can still do whatever, but it's also smart to have that time back to where you can.
Dude, it's super hard to find.
It is hard. It is hard to find the balance because once you find something like you with comedy, you're so driven, and if you think about it, when you started, just 2 months ago. You were doing one
one a week, one every other week.
Now you're doing 2 and 3 a night.
Yeah, I did 3 last night, and honestly, it was a mistake.
Right.
It was too much.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I just dude, I'm an addictive personality. I have an addictive personality, so I can never get enough of anything, pretty much. If I love something, I can't get enough of it, and that's I've driven away girlfriends. I've driven away. I've almost ruined my life with substances. I'm a very addictive personality, and so same thing applies. I am tormented sometimes by my thoughts and by stuff like this. It's just you got to find the balance. We're all fucking working on it. At least we know that's what it is. We know that we got to take a break. We got to play some video games, play some sports, play chess. You got to do something.
Playing sports, we have to get some rollerblades.
Yeah, we
got
to play
some
hockey
out
do
back.
It anytime.
I think that just in the middle of the day,
You guys have
if it's
the rollerblades. You just need wheels.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't even. Yeah, maybe.
No, I know exactly where they are.
Yours
They're
might
all
be
together.
really
Mine might be pretty beat up because
Mine
I
will be
beat
fine.
up my chassis pretty bad when I play.
Yeah, that's true. But either way, I agree, and I think it'd be awesome for all of us to have that outlet, that fun exercise.
I think even just in the middle of the day, you're having a stressful day, like, hey, let's spend a half an hour out in the back parking lot
slap
and just rail some. I don't know,
But
whatever.
it's true though, because what happens is this is what I noticed with myself is what happens is when you're doing an activity that is not your work and is not what your life is revolving around. If you can, we all know that there's such thing called flow states, right?
Yeah.
And the flow state is great for work, but it can also happen with leisure. It can happen when you're reading a book. It can happen when you're enjoying a movie, and it can happen in everything, right? And you can get in these flow states, and when you're doing it with leisure, it can actually rejuvenate your love for life and in other categories. It's strange.
Sure.
I find when I play video games or read books, it helps my comedy and it helps just my
you're
life.
not just absorbed with one thing. Yeah, that's
well,
what
it's
I'm
been
trying
hard.
to. Yeah.
I've definitely been accidentally slipping into too much comedy recently.
Yeah.
Just
well, as long as you realize
I'm just
it,
obsessed by it.
Well, and that's the thing.
Control it.
Yeah, push the line forward and then move back. Push the line forward, move back. Until you realize.
Because you don't want to ruin it either. You know what I mean? You get to a point where it becomes work or becomes a challenge, and you lose that passion, and then that's the problem.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that part. I'm worried about going so hard that I kind of burn my brain out.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to do. I've done that many times. That's for sure. Yeah. What do you got?
Colin says, I like all the shirts that are available to buy, but in the future, could you make some that aren't cheesy? Like with normal animals you have. Love you guys.
that was kind of like a backwards jab,
backwards
right?
compliment.
It's like I love them, but they're pretty damn cheesy.
Yeah, we have different styles.
You know, it just depends, and who knows? Maybe that's something that we'll go for. But the reality is those shirts have been done by a million people a million times.
Well, that's the thing.
That's all that was out there.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever go with like
realistic,
like realism,
like a leopard gecko on a shirt.
I don't think I'll do that because that's
There's
not where I'm
plenty
going.
of them out there
do I think
already.
that I'm going to have some other styles? I do. I do think that we're not. Yeah, we've already talked about like maybe having even collections. Maybe there's a new collection that is a different style that isn't cartoony.
Yeah.
I personally, you got to remember, and this is no disrespect to you, it's just that, you know, my style is cheesy. You know, that's what I wear. You know what I mean? All my shirts, even before Reptile Army, were silly things. That's what I like. And obviously, this is my brainchild, so I'm going to go that direction with what I know. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to launch some more mainstream type stuff. But I'm not going to launch like realism.
No,
you know,
because,
that's not something.
And
I'm
like I
do.
said, it's already been done.
Well,
we
that's
have
the thing.
friends who have lines.
EcoWear is great at it.
That
you know?
do it, and honestly, I don't want to compete with them.
No, I don't want to compete
because
with
they
EcoWear,
do beautiful work.
Yeah,
you know?
And that's exactly.
And
what
realistically, guys, like what's going to turn more heads at the grocery store? A photo of a leopard gecko on your shirt, or something that's silly that somebody's like, oh my God, that's really crazy. I've never seen a reptile on a shirt like that.
But like you said, we've got other stuff too that's a little bit different that might be more up your alley. So just stay tuned.
We're not locked into one thing. I mean, this is going to evolve over the next years, and trust me, I know that. You know, we're in the very infancy of this whole thing, and if things go the way I want it to go, which I really hope it will, there's going to be lots of different collections. There's going to be lots of different styles and stuff like that.
Do you have any Reptile Army shirts with reptiles literally dressed up as army men?
Well, I think so.
Do you?
I thought I saw something.
Not yet. Not launched yet. Not launched yet.
We do have it in the thing, but not available.
Yeah,
yet.
and the actual logo is basically like marching, you know, soldiers and stuff like that. But no, we have some stuff in the thing. That's the thing. We still have 20-something designs that are ready to rock. You know, I mean, that are ready to go. And I'm hoping that, you know, as early as next week, we can launch the next 6 or 8 of them, and then we'll launch 6 or 8 per month. Over the whole year, you know, 6 to 8, maybe even 10 sometimes for the whole year. So there's lots of stuff coming.
Stay tuned.
And that's just the apparel side. There's some other sides of Reptile Army that haven't even started that I'm excited about too.
You know, it'd be cool. I don't know if you already have this. If you did like a bunch of lizards or something, formed as the Terracotta Army, and then you
that
did
was
like,
a cool idea.
And then you did like the Chicada. Which Chuhua Army? No, like
I know what you're saying though. Yeah,
just like find something that kind of rhymes with like terracotta, whatever the fuck it is. I don't speak Japanese. How am I supposed to know the fucking word?
I think it's China, but
China.
It's all the same, right? Yeah.
It's all the same. No, technically it's not.
No, you don't. Yeah, if you say that to someone from China or Japanese, they don't like each other.
I know
much,
that it's not, but also, I agree with the rest of the world when they're like, dumb Americans. Yes, but you can't blame us, the civilians. You have to blame the government because they do not teach jack shit about other countries. No. That's a fact.
No, that is true. No, it is really true.
Literally didn't teach us anything about the differences of Asian cultures.
You're actually very
African
right.
cultures, European cultures.
Sure.
All they taught was white America.
And I feel like
just saying
white America. That is very much so the thing. Whether it's your upbringing from the education or the upbringing from every other continent and place travels and like broadens their horizon, are very much more aware.
Definitely.
Where we are the
very
most
domestic.
It was something crazy. Like I think it was
thinking.
Prior to COVID, I think they said that only like a third of America had passports, whereas like Europe, like 90% had passports.
And a bunch of Americans have never even left their state.
Yeah.
Let alone
or town.
Yeah. Let alone left the country. Like, unfortunate for us in our line of work or whatever we've done, we've met a lot of people internationally that have broadened our horizons, which we've also expanded to our children, which is awesome. But most friends and stuff that we talk to, never would have thought or dreamed about traveling out of the U.S.
No, I always say like you traveled to Europe last year or a year and a half ago. It changes you as a person, right? You know, I mean, travel in culture changes you, and that's why I've been so lucky traveling so many places in the world and seeing so many different things.
You know why it changes you? You know why it changes you?
Why?
It's purely perspective. So many people don't really understand that whole perspective thing.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. And you know, I think that prior to me traveling,
revolving around you and then realizing how much more there is than what your circle is.
Well, that was the thing. I think that when I was young, when I traveled, you know, before I started traveling, my first trip out of the country was to Germany, remember?
Right.
I was like 21, something like that. That was the first time outside of Canada, of course.
Yeah. Where'd you go, Hamburg?
No, I went down to Stuttgart. And then it actually went to Stuttgart. Then I went up to Amsterdam and Houten, Holland.
Reptiles?
Reptile show, yeah.
Of course.
I was staying with my buddy Stefan from M&S down in Stuttgart. And then we drove up to Houten, which is where Snake Days was, which is a reptile show. We did the reptile show, and then we spent one day in Amsterdam, and then drove back, and I spent like 6 or 7 days back in Stuttgart, Germany. And we did some stuff. I mean, we drove around the Black Forest and stuff like that. It was really cool. It was super cool. It was a great experience, but...
What's the Black Forest?
So it's just a really famous forest.
Ancient forest in Germany.
Yeah, that's where all the... Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Yeah, seriously, that's where they make... the Black Forest is where they make the... But yeah, you can punch up the Black Forest. I mean, it's a beautiful place.
Why do they call it the Black Forest? Is there black trees or...
Trees are really dark.
Yeah, just the inside the forest is so dark, you know. But it's
old forest, you know.
Interesting. I wonder, were they fighting World War II and one in there?
I don't know if it ever made it to that area. I mean, that was pretty... I don't know. I have no idea.
So cool.
Not sure. But yeah, it's a beautiful area. And but we went to, a bunch of places. My point is that, prior to that trip and then a lot of other trips, you think America is the best of everything. And then you get somewhere else and you realize, don't get me wrong, I love America. I love our country. But there's amazing countries out there that are pretty freaking awesome.
Oh my God, yeah. I was just telling Mom about India.
Yeah.
You can get like a fucking chiropractic adjustment, massage, a shave, a head massage,
all on the side of the road.
All on the side of the road for
happy ending.
Pennies on the dollar. No happy ending. They'll cut your dick off. They will. They're real strict about
they're
that
strict
in
about
India.
that stuff. Yeah.
But no, I'm serious about you can pennies on the dollar. You can get like full shaves and chiropractic adjustments on the side of the road.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I've said India is probably the place I want to visit the most next.
You've never been?
Never been to India.
You gotta go. I want to go.
That's a place that I just would be. Now you got to remember, number one, India is a huge country and there's a lot of diversity. Like the South is vegetarian, right? Cool. So the South you can't eat meat at all. Then the North is, so the cuisine is different. There's a lot of different cultures in India. But I would love to spend time in India. I think it would be fantastic. It's probably like Robbie Camper used to go all the time, and it just is an amazing place.
I'm serious. So, like once, I don't know when. I'm not gonna put a time frame on it, but one day in my life, hopefully sooner than later, I just want to like start buying tickets and just like disappearing for a few weeks in different countries. Yeah, just like by myself because
might as well.
I don't even really like people that much, so like I don't mind going by myself and just kind of figuring it out.
I feel you.
I think some of the best
that from your mama.
I think that some of the best adventures I've ever been on. As a matter of fact, most of the trips that I go, as you guys know, there's no plans at all. You know what I mean? It's like I know, like when Forrest and I went to Africa, South Africa. We knew we were going to spend the first 2 days. At the reptile show, and then we were there for 10 days. We had no idea. Like past the first 2 days, we had no idea. It's funny. The first night we got there, we went into a bar where all the reptile people were, and I didn't know any of them at all. Just walked in, met everybody. Hey. Literally, we're 30 minutes into the trip.
Yeah,
and or into being in South Africa, and met these guys from Ultimate Reptile Supply, Ralph and Ralph, and they're like, come down to Durban. And we're like, all right, good. That was it.
Yeah.
I mean, we went to Durban and 6-hour drive down the road, and it was one of the most amazing experiences ever, So I agree with you. I don't like, I'm not a planning kind of guy.
Yeah. I think we feel the same way.
Just like when we went to Italy, right?
Jade is our daughter is the opposite. Like it stresses her to not have, well, everybody's different, right? And she's the type that needs the timeline or whatever. To her, it is stressful to not have it, which I, like you said, I'm the opposite. Yeah. I tend to enjoy myself more when it's just kind of like
free form.
Yeah. Most of the trips we went on, like the first Australia trip we went on, same thing. We had no idea what we were going to do.
Because I feel like when you do that, you're more open and you get experiences that normal people don't get. Because of that, because you're more open. You're more open to stuff.
Well, yeah. You're, in my opinion, I get more stressed when there's plans because I know I have to be there at 7 and it's already 5 and oh god, like how are we gonna make it?
I mean, sometimes you have to do that because we did. I mean, we had our itinerary. Like, okay, we got to have this train because we do have to be at a certain place.
Yeah, but when we went to Italy, we were in Rome. We didn't know anyone in Rome at all, not one person. Yeah. We just had a hotel, which by the way was the best hotel ever. It's called the Senators. If I ever when we go back to Rome, we got to get that room again.
It was pretty cool.
It was
even our friend who lives there was like, oh my god, I didn't realize that thing was there.
Yeah, we literally, and it wasn't that expensive. It was like maybe $350 a night, which is a lot. Don't get me wrong, but you're splurging because you're going to Italy, and but literally, like we even got to the hotel, and he's like, "Oh, this is a nice room," and we're like, "Yeah, they always say that shit, right?"
Brick wall,
and so sure enough, we get up. It's the penthouse. We have our own private balcony. Like big balcony, and literally you could throw a rock at the Pantheon and hit it.
I mean, legitimately right there.
Yeah, I mean, you could almost jump off the balcony and onto the top of the Pantheon. Now, it was the most insane room I've ever stayed in.
Pantheon's not the Colosseum, but what is the Pantheon again?
So the Pantheon is I don't know exactly. It's like a
courthouse or something.
No, it's like an ancient cathedral.
Cathedral. That's what it is.
Or what do they call, not cathedral?
It looks like a place of study.
Diogo, isn't it? Or no, what do they call the churches there?
That's
cathedral sounds right. I mean, that's
no, it's not. That's not. There's a
Duomo.
Duomo. Yeah,
that's
Duomo.
Fucking crazy. 2,000.
We literally at the edge of that picture, at the bottom left, that's where our room was.
That's right here.
But no, basically at the top, really. But I mean, because we're
facing that, so it was like we're at the edge of the picture.
Yeah, but we were in the penthouse, so we were overlooking it. But literally, like that distance from the Pantheon.
The bottom left corner. That's where our hotel was.
You know what I want to do?
So freaking dope, man.
I want to go and follow footsteps of Aristotle or something.
That'd be dope.
They have maps of where he traveled and stuff because he wrote a lot. So he told stories of where he went and stuff. So they know his path.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And he traveled all over Italy.
Oh yeah.
To go study and teach.
Oh yeah. And, it's an amazing thing, I mean. But I think travel is important, and I think it broadens you as a human being.
Are you kidding me? I mean, you're literally standing in a 2,000-year-old building, right?
Yeah.
And humans, I mean, I guess every day we learn new shit because we find bones and stuff.
Yeah.
But we haven't been around for that much longer than 10,000 plus years.
Well, they think 10,000, but now they're thinking it could be closer to 60, 70,000, even a couple 100,000.
Yeah,
that's what's cool. In America or the U.S., our history is so new, which you think is so old, and then that's when you go out and you go to all these other countries, you realize, holy crap. We aren't shit. The stuff you see is so ancient and so crazy and been around.
That was the thing.
That is just the part that is awing.
Well, that was the thing when the first time I went to Germany. That was the thing. Is Stefan took me to some places that were ancient castles or walls that were 2,000 years old.
It's just amazing.
And it's crazy because here, if you like your house is 1800 and something, you go to England and it's like, oh, you got a new house 1800. It's like
what was I just thinking? Okay, so you know how we all derived from Africa, right?
That's where they believe.
Yes.
So this could be ignorant. How in the hell is Africa not the most advanced civilization that we on Earth? If we all started
not enough
from
water
there.
and food.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's. I mean, you figure at one point the Egyptians were basically the rulers of the world, you know, and they're African. I mean, that was probably the pinnacle of our history that we know. The Egyptians are probably the only civilization that actually was a powerful
advanced for their time.
Yeah, that's because of aliens. Yeah, because of ancient aliens.
Supposedly.
Yeah. Allegedly.
From your shows. Yeah.
Allegedly. That's why. Yeah.
I don't know. That probably got some value behind it.
It does.
Oh, for sure.
Can we rail this in?